Hello and welcome to WebTV Focus program. I am Gabriel Jude. Today's edition will focus on key conversations on this program for the year 2025. Indeed, 2025 has been an interesting year with many overwhelming issues affecting the household. The experience of cost of purchasing power, economic crisis, insecurity, foreign exchange may have ruined trust in governance and leadership in Nigeria. Now, let me begin with the conversation we had with Mr. Babatunde Oshodare, Chief Legal Officer, Ikeja Disco, on addressing the rising cost of electricity in Nigeria and the way forward for citizens. He said that the sector lacks adequate investment, which needs to be encouraged. A lot of times we look at it like it is our right as Nigerians. We have power, the government is not doing well. They are not, and then the recent happening is that the government, in fact, also Rock is going on, solar. So citizens are, you could hear from the video when someone was saying that if government are going on solar, then what about the masses?
So I think the main issue, if you look at where we are coming from, one of the major challenges we've had is about the lack of investment in the sector.
So it is now, not government-owned sector.
Government has a role to play with the enabling framework, enabling environment, starting from law and regulation. That's why when you see in the law, the relevant laws, whether at the federal or even now the state level, it's very clear that investments shall be encouraged in this sector, and anybody who has made an investment will be allowed to recover their investment plus a return on that investment. The legal framework is clear. Right, but it is in implementing what the law has provided for. That is where we are, where government is also trying to balance the interest of the people. Electricity is a very expensive commodity across the world. Now, governments can either allow customers to pay the true cost or provide some cushion by way of trying to subsidize that tariff.
Now, at a time when Nigerians struggle with the cost of living, financial services were also a concern. And so we had a conversation with Dr. Oluwatomi Iromosele, Research Manager, Enhancing Financial Inclusion and Advancement on addressing the challenges of financial inclusion in Nigeria. She spoke on bank charges and charted a pathway for a robust financial system that encourages more Nigerians to be involved in financial services.
There are two things or three things that we can take from here. First is that there is demand. People want to manage their money. They want to use the financial system, whether formal or informal, to at least they need something to manage their financial lives. What we hear is people are not happy with traditional banks, and there's more appetite, it seems, for more innovative players coming into the space. That's a good thing because it deepens our financial system. As you've heard from them, it makes it more affordable, right? So if the banks and the traditional players want to continue to keep costs, increase charges and all of that, and then the innovative players can come and bring down costs, to us, it's good for the underserved and the rural population. But also the other bit is then how the regulator can enable the market, because it looks as it is now that the demand and the supply side are not aligning, right? So we need the regulator to help us ensure that the traditional providers, and the reason why the regulators need to come in is because the traditional providers, the banks, as it were, today still serve majority of the formally included population. So if we say, let's just wait for the market to regulate itself, it might take us a while. So we need the regulators to come in and say, these charges, particularly for the low-income individuals, as you said from your report, about 50% of those who are unbanked link that the reason to income-related issues. These charges are not suitable for this market. And for a central bank that says we are champions of financial inclusion, this doesn't align with that position that they're taking.
Meanwhile, Dr. Olufemi Oyenuga, Group Executive Director, charms Holco in examining Nigerians' retail investor participation in the capital market in a changing digital context, called for more public awareness to enhance investors' participation and emphasized the risks that should be mitigated by the market regulator in integrating digital assets into mainstream of the capital market.
There's a saying, if you don't teach them, don't train them, don't blame them. So all these people that we have in Nigeria, I don't know how many we have. Sometimes they say we are 230. It depends on the number that suits you anyway. Some people say we are 200 and the baby's yet unborn. You have to start teaching a reorientation of online trading, capital market, money market, crypto market from primary school, so that the engagement, the curriculum, the exam, the exposure, the soft skill is from that angle, and the inhibitions and all the agendas that old people have created around trading. Somebody that got his hands born in 2007, 2008 can never believe in what I'm saying. So we'll be saying deepening the capital market, deepening the market. There are people say, what are you deepening? Are you dealing it well? So you have to take it from primary school through the local government to the secondary school. So by the time people are in university, they are really, really baked in understanding this thing anyway, because they were all born in a digital age.
Also, WebTV Focus program in profiling solutions to issues of interest to the household look at addressing the gaps in MSME financing in Nigeria. The conversation featured Mrs. Chidima Lawansin, Managing Director and Founder, Springtide and Redney Limited, which focus on access to finance as a major constraint to the scaling of MSME in the country.
The non-performing loans on those lending platforms are quite huge because sometimes people take advantage of it. But there are the credit guarantee schemes that central bank also brings in to incentivize the financial services sector to lend to SMEs. So there's a CBN credit guarantee scheme that they guarantee 70% of such loans. Or if you look at Development Bank of Nigeria, they have their own impact credit guarantee that supports 60% of loans to SMEs. So all these are to incentivize the lenders to lend to SMEs. When we talk about the high interest rates, it also falls back sometimes on us. We're the ones that put in the savings into the financial services sector, and we look for the best interest. But it's the same organization that has to lend it out. Obviously, they have to make a spread.
Okay.
And when they think of the risk of the SMEs, sometimes not holding brief, but they would say it's riskier to lend to the SMEs than maybe to lend to BUA. I'm just using him as an example, because he has created credit history over time in billions of naira. So it's safer to lend to him, but due to potential loss of the loan, the SME is seen as risky. So the question should be, how do we de-risk the SME so that the interest rate regime will be lower for them?
And to conclude this year recap, it is worth noting that in all of this, security is the most important component in achieving a nation's economic stability. This led to a conversation with Mr. Samson Ajibade, a criminologist and security researcher, and Mr. Michael Boniface, a security consultant, on options for achieving security and stability in Nigeria. Take a listen to them.
When soldiers fighting would be fighting for months, for years, and they are being paid peanuts. Let's say they're supposed to be paid, let's say 5,000 naira, so they are being paid 3,000 naira daily. Who steals the money? How many people are being held to account for this? So these are some of the things, and they should also work on the psychology of our soldiers. Some of them have been there 3 years in the Northeast. Oh God. Imagine hearing the sound of bomb, bullets, RPG, tanks, day and night. Like, it has now become, it affects their psychology, it affects their emotions. And this person hears, they just sent your child away from school because he needs to pay 50,000 naira to balance up his wife fee. And this person is with a gun fighting insurgency. How would that person feel? These are the things we should do beyond buying arms. We should not just buy arms, fight them. No, let us also work on this, on the well-being, the psychological well-being of our fighting troops. That is it. How are the families or the members of our fallen heroes, how are they being treated? Are they not being owed? Are there not bureaucracies or bureaucratic principles holding them back from getting their entitlements? What message are you sending to those who are still alive? Do you understand? So beyond all these things, we should also apply psychosocial approach.
Ideally, this internal insecurity is not actually meant for the military. Internal insecurity or security is supposed to be for the police. So having military at the forefront today shows that we've missed it. Something is wrong. Military is supposed to position itself, against external aggression. And so they keep researching, they keep monitoring, they keep surveilling, they keep ensuring that no external aggression against the country. So this current internal insecurity is actually supposed to be the police call. But today you see that police is overwhelmed, and that's why you have the.
Is it a different form of police? Because I don't know. Do we have some form of police that are particularly meant for that? Because we've seen a lot of issues where
no police is saddled with the internal security responsibility. Okay, we have the same police, although you have different wings. You have the mobile police, the anti-robbery, and all of that. But when it comes to any internal insecurity like this, they coordinate and all of them go there. Although they are still involved, but what we're saying is that they are overwhelmed, and we shouldn't allow it to get to this point. Now, there should be, you talked about synergy. Definitely, there should be synergy. In fact, all security agencies should have a fusion center, a centralized fusion center where information is disposed there, and then refined and made intelligence, and then act upon. But again, what we have today is actually rivalry. You can't shy away from it. I mean, there are a lot of interagency rivalry. Even among the police, the military, the DSS, everybody wants to take the glory. So you have your intelligence, you keep it to yourself. And then somebody else needs to go get his own intelligence to work on. We should have a centralized fusion center, command center, where if information is processed into intelligence and then acted upon.
And that will be all for this edition of WebTV Focus program as we round off the year. Please do not forget that we are right here to speak to every issues of interest and concerns to the households on WebTV Focus at WebTV Nigeria. I am Gabriel Jude. Happy prosperous New Year in advance, and have a great year ahead. See you in 2026.